Drip cakes are so popular and common right now, and they're all the rage. I recommend that if you're a baker, you definitely have to learn how to do these. In this tutorial, I'll be teaching you how to make a simple chocolate ganache. Only 2 ingredients are needed. The ganache I'll be teaching you how to make today does not require any milk or ingredients that will easily get spoiled. These are the ingredients you'll need: GYENDI chocolate bars, margarine, buttercream icing, and chocolate buttercream icing. You'll require the following tools: piping bags, piping tips, a knife, plastic bowls. Make sure your cake is completely cool before you start icing it. To remove my vanilla cake from the cake pan, I slide a fork around the edges of the pan. I then place a metallic saucer on top of the baking pan and turn it upside down. I bang the bottom of the pan a bit if the cake remains stuck and gently lift the pan off the cake. I use my hands to turn my cake upside down. I do not recommend beginners do this. Use a second saucer to turn your cake upside down. Cut off the caramelization and the hard parts of the cake. Try to ensure that your cake is level, otherwise it will show in the finished results. You'll have a bent looking cake. Place some buttercream on a cake board center so that your cake doesn't slide off in case someone slightly tilts it. Place the cake board on the part you cut off cake from and turn it upside down. Now your cake is ready to ice. Spread buttercream all over your cake. This is the first layer of buttercream and we use it to lock in the crumbs so that it doesn't affect our later icing layers. Leave to air dry for at least 15 minutes until you can touch the buttercream and none comes onto your finger. Alternatively, you can put your cake in the freezer for 5 minutes to speed up this process. This is how I make my chocolate ganache for dripping the cake. I use half a 150-gram GYENDI dark chocolate bar and place it in a small saucepan. GYENDI chocolate bar is a high-quality chocolate which is affordable and pocket-friendly. It's perfect for making chocolate ganache used on drip cakes, making buttercream icing, and glazing your cake. I highly recommend that you get yourself a bar from gyendicocoa.com or order on the numbers displayed on the screen. This type of chocolate is a baker's dream, so you definitely need to get yourself a piece. Break the half into smaller chunks and put it in a small metallic saucepan. I pour hot water in a bigger saucepan and seat the smaller saucepan in it. It will melt completely in a few minutes. Add a tablespoon of margarine and mix it to the melted chocolate and mix thoroughly. getting smooth sides, especially when using buttercream, is often a tug of war. The easiest way to get these smooth sides is to pipe icing around the cake with a smooth piping tip rather than dolloping with a spoon as in the former tutorials. I attach my round piping tip onto my piping bag. I place the piping bag in a tall glass, then add buttercream to the bag. This makes the whole process of adding buttercream to a piping bag much easier and much smoother. I then pipe around the cake with my circular tip. Since it's a drip cake, you want very smooth sides. Ganache looks very beautiful when the sides are extremely smooth and the chocolate has a dripping effect. I fill the top of the cake and smooth out the buttercream. Start with the top of the cake, do not mess with the sides. Once the top is smooth, I smoothen the icing round the cake with my plastic scraper. I try to push the overlapping sides onto the edge of the cake. I don't push to the middle, only to the sides. I'm not obsessed with making the sides neat because I'm going to put a border around the cake sides anyway. It's now time to add your drips to your cake. If your ganache has hardened, you can place your bottle in hot water to remelt the chocolate. Do not use it when it's hot, only when it's at a warm temperature, because if you use it when it's hot, it will melt your buttercream. Squeeze around the edges of your cake to create a chocolate drip. If you want a long drip, squeeze the bottle hard so that the drip runs all the way to the bottom of the cake. On the other hand, if you want a shorter drip, squeeze lightly so that the drip only runs to the middle of the cake. Pipe around my cake with chocolate buttercream. To get this amazing chocolate buttercream icing recipe, check out my other tutorials on icing. Thanks so much for watching, and I hope you learned something. If you have any questions or would simply like to share your results, Check out our Facebook group, GYENDI Cocoa Baking and Chocolate Class.